Teodosic.
Wow, you better practice that.
How you say Milos Teodosic?
Oh, just call him Teddy.
Oh, yeah. He signed for 2 years, 12
Teddy
million.
Riley.
Real deal. Patrick Beverly called him one of the best passers in the NBA because he used to play with him, LZ. Can Milos be the Clippers' savior? Give me some love.
Well, I think about the name Milos, and I think Milos Raonic, one of the greatest tennis players of today's time. I think Milos, Greek island.
No one knew
Pretty good island, right?
Yeah.
There was a classical guitarist by the name of Milos. He was pretty good. He used to sell a lot
This is like a book report, right?
So I'm thinking, Milos is pretty good. So I'm going to give Milos a chance.
So I was along those lines, but instead of a classical guitarist, I was thinking, they just signed the Migos.
Man, will you say
Maybe they could do something. Look at Quavo. Research on Quavo, too. Look at Q.
Yeah.
Distance. The point shooter. Look at that. He broke the little. Here we go. That back. He pull up. Bang.
That was
They
slow as hell,
signed
man.
Migos, and I was excited about that.
I'm going to play for the I don't know about this. Look, I like Milos. Real talk, 2016, we watched the Olympics. Serbia almost beat the USA team. We was like, who's the point guard out there, fancy? Kind of like a grown Ricky Rubio out there with his fancy passing and his fancy game. This is the good thing about him. His title is the best point guard outside the NBA. The best international point guard in the world. Y'all don't think that's a good
He
player?
ain't been to the D. He ain't been to New York. I bet there are better point guards than him in the D and in New York.
I would say this: it's a gamble. You've got Ricky Rubio here, and also Marcelo Huertas here, and he's like, and he's like, it could go either way. It could go either way.
I don't want to hear that. But Patrick Beverly vouches for him. That means something.
But Patrick Beverly played with him 8 years ago, though. That's the whole
So he's gotten better.
No, look,
he's won two of the MVPs
Patrick's
over
gotten
there.
better. We don't know what's old.
He's won two of the MVPs over there.
Teodosic was a fine player, and at one point in his career, I thought, man, you need to make that jump over to the NBA. But with like a lot of European guys that make so much money in Europe,
Yeah.
it wasn't making
Oh, it
any
took a
sense
lot of money for him to get out the contract.
Exactly.
It did.
They're not going to come here for minimum. So they kind of spend their time, and then they reach a point where, like, well, if I'm going to try this, I got to try this now. We saw it with Huertas. We saw it with Sarunas Jasikabic. We saw it with...
What'd you say?
What'd you say some cabbage is? Where the cabbage
Sarunas
is?
Jasikabic.
Bless you.
Smoked
This
cabbages.
is an exec, former exec in the NBA. Look at that.
And all those guys were special talents, but I felt like they just came too
He's
late.
30 years young. Stop it, man. He's not that old.
Look, let me tell you something. Notice everyone's talking about his passing and his shooting. Ain't nobody talking about his defense, though.
Hey, nobody talking about his movement. Well, let's talk about another player who just got paid. My man, Andre Robertson.
Robertson, as in he robbed them, son.
Fresh off a brand new 3-year, $30 million contract to stay with the Thunder. But Robertson tallied up nearly $500 bill, yet gave only a $13 tip. Robertson defended himself, tweeting, should not have had to tip you if it was just a bottle at a bar. There was no service. Ooh, interesting. No service there. Jacoby, who saw you on?
What does that mean?
In this tip? Yeah.
Hold on, what does that mean?
I did some research on this. It's at the Chupacabra Cantina in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
I called them today. They didn't really want to talk to me.
God bless you.
And here's what I figured
Yeah,
out.
right.
This is not a nightclub. Like, this isn't a, he said, I got a bottle. There was no service. TMZ, which is always right 100% of the time,
Yeah, that's
said
real.
they were getting vodka sodas, Red Bulls, and Long Island iced teas. Anyone knows if you are ordering Long Island iced teas,
Someone
you're
has to
trying to
make
get
it.
drunk.
Yeah,
You're trying to
that's
get drunk.
real. That-
There's
yeah.
4 bottles in there. I have a feeling that perhaps Mr. Robertson was a little intoxicated. You can tell from the math. And if you look at the receipt,
Yeah, he's
he
crippled.
tried to write one thing, and he's like, nah, I'm going to tip him less than that, and crossed
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
It said there was no service. To ring up that kind of a bill at that place, you had to order multiple things. I'm with my people at the True.
Well, he tried to write it to 500, so that should have been 1287 instead of what he wrote.
Exactly.
which is
He's off twice.
1397.
He
Yeah.
wasn't just off with one digit.
Okay, let me give you that. I have 2 arguments here. The one that counters yours is the fact that, look, when you go somewhere and you are intoxicated and it's time to pay the bill, that's why you go to places like Miami, Vegas, mandatory tip included, because
That's
I
why
am
you
not
go?
in the right mindset
That's exactly
to
why you
write
go.
down what the hell the tip should be.
You
Don't kill me. That's
his
real
fault.
thing.
It's not his
That's
fault.
not
It's
his
the place's
fault.
fault. It's the
Yes,
establishment's fault. You're
yes,
right.
that's an
You're totally
old
right.
rule.
You're totally
That
right.
rule's been around decade
You can't
plus.
expect a grown human being to tip.
No, you can't
themselves.
expect them to tip the accurate amount when you already just fed them 10 Long Islands. That's the obvious thing.
Oh, I know
Look,
what happened.
you think he messed up the math, and now he's trying to cover his tracks by saying there was
That or the service sucked. And you know what? When the
Here's my-
service is bad, I ain't got to tip
You know what it
if
was?
the
I
service
think
was
he didn't
bad.
get any free rounds, and he was salty about it. That's
I don't think it's even that.
You hit a free throw, you get a free round. That's
Hey,
what I want.
This is my theory. When he said there was no service, he didn't say it was bad service. He said no service.
You made his phone?
It means no. It means that the person serving him was not wearing like the Playboy bunny outfit with sparklers on. I think that's what he equates with service. It was just a dude,
real club
just
life.
a dude gave you a bottle. Oh, here you go. It's like, ain't no service.
Interesting, because, you know, we go to restaurants, we tip them when a waiter comes out. But when you go to McDonald's and they give you the same food, it takes them 3 steps. You ain't sitting there saying, here's your extras.
Real talk.
We don't do that.
As a black man, with the stereotype about brothers don't tip, I always try to make sure I tip right. I just do.
It's in your head?
It's in my head. It's like, I can't be that one dude that's not going to carry the flag for the peoples.
So do you walk in Popeyes? Are you self-conscious then, too?
Nah.
See,
Popeyes,
exactly,
man.
exactly.
I walk in Popeyes.
I do.
You got a problem with that, too? Stereotypes. Come up after the break. We got more proof that cats, they're better than dogs. We already knew that. Hashtag COD. This discussion is over.
That side-eye.
Look at the dog's face. He wasn't ready.
Nation.
Maybe if I don't move, they can.
Let's go, Bellinger.
And time for Pulse of the Nation, presented by Toyota. You know what we got right now. Some winners and losers time. Winner cats. This cute kitten lets this big old dog know who's boss and jabs him in the face.
The dog's just acting like.
Watch the dog's reaction to food once in a while.
That cat won't even notice I'm
Cats
here.
are superior to dogs.
What you have to appreciate is the dog's side eye afterwards.
I do.
It is solid.
It's funny how humans think that dogs are better than cats. Most humans do.
Yeah,
But dogs
it's
know
true.
that cats got them. Like, you ever see a dog and a cat? Cats are like, come on, dog, let's go get this. if
Cats
you
don't
want.
do that because they can't.
Come on if you want these problems.
What
You know,
kind of cat you talking
what's the
about?
king of the jungle? Is it a dog or a cat?
Protect the house.
It's
though. That
cat. It's man.
Loser. Here. Take a look at this dude swinging from high up on this rope. Doing
Nah.
1,000 flips before a perfect landing in the water. LZ,
Yes, sir.
you're the one up here. I'm gonna ask this. Would you do that?
Nah, bro. You crazy?
Is our ropes
about that?
cultural?
Here's the funny thing. You see a silhouette, and you didn't have to tell me the ethnicity of the guy.
I think rope swings might be cultural. I'm throwing that out there. It might be cultural.
What are you saying? Because they in the woods and they doing flips?
But
They
did he
ain't
tip?
my people.
I'm not saying anything.
Did he tip?
How does he get out too? Look at all those rocks. Yeah, he definitely tipped.
Brother drive up there.
He tipped everybody. He tipped the guy that filmed it. He tipped the guy that tied up the rope. He tipped
Everybody got
everybody
20%. You get 20%. You give me 20%.
He gave it to Joseph A. Bank about some soup.
Get out. Winner. Commitment. The 28th wife-carrying world championship recently took place in Finland. Husbands carried their wives for more than 250 meters on a sandy obstacle course. Jacoby, would you do this with your spouse?
My spouse is not doing this. She's drowning right there.
Oh!
Her head is under the water. You kidding me?
Divorce rate high.
That's not a contest. That's
He would
divorce
kill
court.
me.
I would-
You tried to murder
I would
me. I'm
definitely
filing a
do
lawsuit.
I would definitely do this, but oops, ran into another thing again, honey. My bad.
This one's stunning. This is N1 wife carrying right here.
My wife ain't little, so
He said
nah.
N1
This is the
white
N1
carrot.
wife carrying right there.
Ooh.
Just stunning. See,
Yo, how many kegels is
everything.
Yeah, that's the time I need a little skinny wife.
I just need to know, like, how do you approach your wife about the conversation?
Yeah, nah, my wife
Like,
weighs.
what you doing?
My wife's
Hey, can I carry you
175.
The
I
night
ain't-
before,
I ain't
she's
got
having
it.
steaks.
Loser.
How about salad?
Decision making. Odell Beckham Jr. recently posted pictures of his newest ink. Got the faces of Bob Marley, Lil Wayne, shout out y'all, baby. Mike Tyson tatted on his thigh. And this is in addition to the Michael Jackson tat he already had on his leg. Oh my God. LZ, any consideration for a celebrity on your body?
For a celebrity?
Yeah. Would you do it?
Maybe like Jesus.
Let me
He's
tell
a celebrity?
you. No, let me tell you something. That's a positive
Yeah.
test.
My Lord.
You get Bob Marley tattooed on yourself, that's a positive test. A Bob Marley tattoo and a Lil Wayne tattoo,
Next to each
that's a
other.
positive test. He's definitely
That's
he got one of those random tests the next
Wait,
day.
you don't think that Michael Jackson was enough?
No.
You think he was
Gonna be pumped fall?
he was completely sober when he did Michael Jackson, but when he
He
did,
got one of those
but when he
Joey
did Bob
Harris
Marley,
random
then
tests.
that's the sign.
Just the ink going through your bloodstream is a positive test in effect. That's it for us. Have a great week. Hey, Marcel Vernon Wiley Sr., joined by LG Granderson, my man. David Jacoby is in the house, and it's Friday. We ain't got no job, but we got this to do. So let's get started with
feel like a job.
Knicks do it the harder way. Aha.
Oh, that was clever.
Tim Hardaway Jr., I say Jr., has signed a 4-year, $71 million offer sheet with the Knicks, and the Hawks have 2 days to match the offer. Hardaway has spent the past 2 seasons with the Hawks after spending his first 2 with the Knicks. Jacoby, just the question. Did the Knicks think they were signing his daddy?
No, the Knicks knew exactly who they were signing. They drafted him. That is why this is so crazy. Like you said, Phil Jackson isn't even there, and they're still doing things like this. But just try to get yourself inside the Knicks ideology. What they're saying is,
Here's one.
Carmelo's going to go. We got to replace his scoring. We're going to get younger. We need a score. We need an offense. So that's
Carmelo's going to go. They're
He's
going to
gonna get
buy him
traded.
out.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
they traded. Something's happening.
so then there's this. this is what a rational person thinks. You're paying Tim Hardaway Jr. $71 million American dollars to play basketball? This is a man who 18 months ago was on the Austin Spurs in the G League. Like, you forget about this. Like, he had a great finish of the season for the Hawks. Once Kyle Korver gone, he got some more minutes. He scored a lot of buckets. He looked good at the end of the year. A year and a half ago, he was in the G League. And now he's making $71 million to play basketball.
I'm not mad at him at all.
What?
All I need to know is, yo, Knicks, what's the plan?
Okay.
Because it sounds as if you're saying, well, 2018 ain't for us.
Okay.
Like, we see all these free agents, they ain't coming, so we're going to lock this dude up for 4 years. That's what you're saying. You're telling me that with all the guys that are out there, you're the New York Knickerbockers, a big free agent market, that you're saying in 2018 we don't have a chance. We're just going to lock up Joakim and Tim Hardaway. And
Boy, if you're Aaron Aflalo, you got to feel bad for yourself. You let Tim Hardaway Jr. get that much more money than you. Tim Hardaway Jr. making more in 1 year than you make your entire contract.
I love that the Hawks have 2 days to match. Like, the Hawks front office right now getting good and be like, no.
Or,
no.
Or will they validate the insanity and actually go out there and say, you know, we will match that? This is a young talent. He's still a young talent.
They would have paid Paul Millsap if they were going to stay old or stay with what they had. They're trying to blow the whole thing up. They're like going, thanks, brother, for the memories. Have fun in New York.
But if you draft a guy and then he goes away, he gets humbled, he has to go to the G League, and then all of a sudden you see something at the end of the season, don't you bet on that production and that potential going forward? He's still a young talent, no?
The answer's no.
All right, let's move on.
He had a good 2 months. He had a good 2 months. He also had a good 2 months in the D League.
Okay, let's talk some real basketball. About a real basketball team. This is it. And the Celtics trading Avery Bradley and a second-round pick to the Pistons for Marcus Morris. The move creates the salary cap space needed to sign free agent Gordon Hayward to a 4-year, $128 million maximum contract. But LZ, have the Celtics actually gotten worse this offseason?
No, they haven't gotten worse.
As you wear your green sweater.
As I wear my green sweater. Sure. Why do we always get Celtics questions when I wear green?
Sure.
No, they haven't gotten worse. Yes, it would have been better if they were able to keep their perimeter defender. But what they got in exchange, he's not a bum. He's actually a pretty rugged defensive player in the paint, and he also is a good scorer. So, I mean, is it young? No. Is it another guard that you can use? No. But you can always start Jalen Brown in the 2
do you see those categories? All 4 of them?
Yeah.
The one on the left was better than the one on the right, and they lost the one on the left?
Yeah, but they didn't get a bum in exchange, is my point.
Apples to apples here, because what you're really doing is clearing up money so you can sign Hayward.
True.
Right? So that's really what you're doing. And I love Avery Bradley. I watch a lot of Celtics games. I'm from Massachusetts. I love Avery Bradley. But you know what? He's your perimeter defender. Guess who else is? Marcus Smart. Guess who else is? Terry Rozier. Those guys get cheaper than that. So this is a necessary thing they had to do to bring in Hayward. And one of the problems the Celtics have is rebounding, interior toughness.
Yeah.
And that's what Morris will bring you.
But hold on.
And he's an upgrade over Kelly Olynyk, who they had. He's
who just got paid.
Right, but he's an upgrade over that guy. He's also an upgrade over Jonas Jerebko, who they're going to have to let go. So they actually gotten a little bit better in terms of bench production.
Oh, now you stop contradicting yourself, because when I first asked you, you said, well, they didn't get worse, but they could have done better.
No, I didn't say
My
that.
coach always told me either you get better or you get worse. Which one? Pick one.
I didn't say
Pick
that.
one.
They have 2 All-Stars now. They have
You know
2
what?
All-Stars now.
These are lateral moves for the Celtics.
Former All-Star. Former All-Star.
Once an All-Star, always an
Former
All-Star.
All-Star.
I just think Boston this offseason, they went up 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then now lateral move. They may have closed the gap on the Cleveland Cavs, but that means they're going to go down in 6. That's going to be a 4-2 series. I don't see them still getting over that hump. Do you?
That's your 2017 projection. What they're doing is for 2019, 2020, they're playing the long game, because at some point, LeBron James, believe it or not, is actually going to get old. Or he may actually leave.
And at some point, other teams are going to get better that you don't see coming, including maybe even the Lakers out here, something crazy like that. Well, let's stick with the Celtics and go with their new free agent in Gordon Hayward. And the Celtics agreed to a 4-year contract, $128 million, as we talked about earlier. But that's not the story. Hayward was seen at Joseph A. Banks shopping in Boston yesterday. The show producer wanted me to hate on Hayward, but I'm kind of cheating my damn self, so I've been in Joseph A. Bank before. You've been? Okay, thank you. Somebody else.
Expensive suits are overrated.
Overrated.
They're overrated. And Joseph A. Bank, look, he needs to look good for an hour-long press conference. Whether he spends $20,000 on a suit or $200 on a suit, is good. No one cares what he looks like. They care what he says. Joseph A. Bank, I went to the website. $1,000 suit here, $900 suit there, quality clothing. Joseph A. Bank, the man, started working in the clothing industry at 11 years old.
I love this commercial. I love this.
1898 in Baltimore, Maryland. I rep Joseph A. Bank. I'm gonna go there today.
You guys are missing the point.
What point?
He's not trying to get a suit. He's trying to get endorsements. So if he's photographed shopping there, guess what Joseph A. Bank, Mr. Man's going to say? Yeah, like for instance.
He goes like, I'm gonna take you to the bank.
Exactly. This is what
Roll
you
out the
do.
house.
You know, just because you hire a stylist doesn't mean it look right.
See, that's expensive and that's a mess.
Wait. That's what a stylist
That's
gives
$100,000
you.
worth of
Exactly.
You look like Voltron. You look a mess. What the hell is
So
that?
listen, so either you get with a stylist, you start modeling with the GOAT, or you go into Joseph A. Bank and you get photographed in there, you get you an endorsement deal and all the suits you want for free.
You know what I learned? Look, I've been through the gamut. I've been through the expensive suits, you know, $2,000, $3,000 each, and then I've been through the ones where it's $200 off the rack. As long as it fits, you're fine, because it's an assembly line, just like with colognes and sunglasses. They send them all to the same place. They say, oh, this is better fabric. But it's the same damn tailor doing the same old cut.
Wine is like that too. Like a $100 bottle of wine is not 5 times better than a $20 bottle of wine.
Read.
Like you get to a certain point.
Actually,
That is not true.
No,
That's
that
not true.
$2
That's
Chuck
not true.
counts.
That's
$2 Chuck Charles Schwab.
I will say that this tongue can tell the difference between 20
I don't
bucks
know.
and $100.
Let's do a taste test during the break and we'll see.
Right, I'm with the $2 Chuck there. Let's get to jeers right now. We got 3 of them. And it's time for the first jeer. Bad news for Chris Rainey, CFL, Canadian Football League. And
Is that a
Rainey,
thing still?
yeah, he can't make the easy catch.
Oh, that's why you're in
loses
the
yardage.
CFL.
Don't you say that.
That's why.
Shout out to Doug Flutie, best
said
CFL
for
player
Where do they
ever.
send you after you're out of the CFL?
G League.
FedEx. 2 jeers for the Padres. Multiple Padres players.
No, don't let it drop in the middle.
All had
Don't
bad
let it-
on the fly ball.
Anybody catch
Hey,
it?
No, but everybody got hurt. Everybody got hurt.
I like the first baseman Myers. Is like, nah, you guys handle that.
Y'all can have that.
I'll be over here. I'm not.
Baseball.
And 3 jeers for Josh Bell.
Oh, no, not JB.
Yep, Josh Bell. He gets a little distracted
What is he
and
doing?
forgets what's happening on the field. That lets you know.
He's watching the bat. He's like, oh, dang, she gonna get hit.
And y'all say baseball ain't boring. Even the players out there napping, dog.
He was looking at the bat. Like, oh, dang, it got her.
After the break, Daryl Morey believes the Rockets have closed the gap on the Warriors by stealing my man Chris Paul. But do you guys agree? We'll discuss next.
This is Sports